Construction of pattern for half skirt with pleats. In the previous session, we identified the standard body measurements required and made few calculations for constructing the pattern of half skirt with pleats. In this session, we will see how to construct pattern for a half skirt based on drafting instructions. At the end of the session, you will be able to estimate fabric required for making a half skirt with pleats, construct pattern for half skirt with pleats. As per the measurement chart, the skirt length is 17.5 inches and waist circumference is 22 inches. With these measurements, let's calculate the length of fabric required for making the half skirt. In the previous session, we calculated the total skirt length as 22 inches. So the actual fabric required would be 2 times the total skirt length, considering the fabric width as 35 inches. That is 2 multiplied by 22 inches, which is equal to 44 inches. We will round this to 50 inches, which comes to 1.5 meters approximately. Thus the total fabric required would be 50 inches or 1.5 meters of fabric. In the previous session, we had made calculations for all the parts required for making the half skirt. We have the skirt length as 17.5 inches and waist circumference as 22 inches. We calculated the total waistband length as 25 inches and the total waistband width as 4 inches. Also, we got the total skirt width as 72 inches. But since we will cut it from 2 layers of fabric, we divided 72 by 2 and added 1 inch for the side seam allowances and got 37 inches. To the skirt length of 17.5 inches, we added ½ inch seam allowance for the waistline seam and 4 inch for the bottom hem. So finally the skirt length is 22 inches. The belt loops will have a length of 3.5 inches and width of 1.5 inches. We will need 4 such pieces. The adjustable hook closure will have a length of 3.5 inches and a width of 1 inch. Also, the side strips will have a length of 2.25 inches and a width of 3 by 4 inches. We need to cut 2 such strips. We will need these measurements to construct the pattern for a half skirt. First, let's see how to draft the pattern for the skirt piece. Draw a baseline and mark a starting point 0 towards the upper part of the baseline. This line represents the fold while drafting on fabric. From point 0, draw a right angle line to the baseline. This is the waistline while drafting on fabric. From point 0 along the baseline, measure the skirt length including seam allowance, which is 22 inches, and make a mark. This is point 1. From point 1, draw a right angle line to the baseline. Again, starting from point 0, measure along the waistline the waist width including seam allowance of 37 inches and make a mark. This is point 2. From point 2, draw a right angle line to the waistline, which is also parallel to the baseline. Where this line and the line from point 1 meet is point 3. Then from point 1, measure 4 inches up along the baseline and make a mark. This is point 4. Again from point 3, measure 4 inches up and make a mark. This is point 5. Connect points 4 and 5 in a straight line. This line is the final length of the half skirt. Name it as length. 0, 2, 1, 3 and 4, 5 have the same length and are parallel. 0, 1 and 2, 3 have the same length and are parallel. The skirt part will need to be cut in a double layer of fabric. We will indicate this on the pattern by writing 2x on it. Now let's see how to draft the pattern for the waistband. Extend the baseline upwards and from point 0, measure 2 inches up and make a mark. This is point 6. From point 6, measure along the baseline the width of the waistband of 5 inches and make a mark. This is point 7. From point 6 and point 7, draw a right angle line to the baseline. Starting from point 6, measure 25 inches and make a mark. This is point 8. Again from point 7, measure 25 inches and make a mark. This is point 9. Lines 6, 8 and 7, 9 have the same length and are parallel. Lines 7, 6 and 9, 8 have the same length and are parallel. Thus we have constructed the pattern for the waistband. Now let's see how to draft the pattern for the hook closure. Draw a rectangle with a length of 8 inches and a width of 1 inch. Again draw a rectangle with a length of 5 inches and a width of 3 by 4 inches. We would need 2 pieces of this size while drafting on fabric. Now let's see how to draft the pattern for the belt loop. Draw a rectangle with a length of 3.5 inches and a width of 1.5 inches. We would need 4 pieces of this size while drafting on fabric. In this session, we have learnt how to construct pattern for a uniform half skirt. Before we conclude, let's take a look at the key steps involved in constructing the pattern for a uniform half skirt. Step 1. Draw the baseline fold and construct a rectangle using the total skirt length and total waist width for the half skirt. Step 2. Construct 25 inch by 25 inch rectangle for the waistband. Step 3. Construct a 8 by 1 inch rectangle and 5 by 3 by 4 inch rectangles for making the hook closure. Step 4. Construct 3.5 by 1.5 inch rectangle for making the belt loops. With that, we have come to the end of this session.